I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. It's complete to Gordon Tate. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Detroit! Over!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They go play action here on first down. He's going deep for Brown. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fowler. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney!
On 1st and 10, Fowler. This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And that one results in 35 yards. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
They'll run with Cook. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run?
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. First quarter touchdown run. Remember this coming on the heels of his NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance that was so great last week.
Did you feel the rumble all the way up here?
The big bodies up front.
Big bodies moving people, and him, of course, charging through those great holes that were created.
So off to a great start here. Maybe looking for award number 2, adding to the award that he won last week in the NFC. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Stafford on first down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And now the offense for Detroit.
Golden Tate is a dream for a play caller as a wide receiver because you can use him all over the field. Use him out wide, bring him into the slot, circle him into the backfield, where he can take handoffs as a running back. But the key part of his game, run after catch. Usually one of the top players in the NFL in that statistic.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line.
Offside. Defense.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
That penalty is
leads me
declined.
to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10, Stafford again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the 50, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Looking to throw on second down. Fowler. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on third down. Fowler going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Looking to throw. Fowler. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Brown. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Pass interference. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw on second down. Fowler. And some room to maneuver. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll lead here to a third down. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Operating from the gun. Fowler, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Lions have recovered.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
That changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
All right, boys, here we go.
Throwing is Stafford. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Riddick. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good...
Oh, he lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Throwing to start the drive. Fowler. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fowler. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
A give. This is Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Fowler. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Riddick with a carry. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Rudolph has it left side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchdown. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Blue 90! Over!
Off the play fake. Fowler. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jerry Hughes in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big gain of 31 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Detroit!
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw on second down. Fowler flush to his right. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Fowler. And this is going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Busts like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On first down, it's Stafford. And it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. From the gun, here's Stafford. Back to the flat for Riddick. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Making his... Throwing on first down. Fowler. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off-play action. Fowler rolling to his left. Throw taken in by Tanner left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Holding. Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Fowler. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the play fake. Fowler. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Fowler. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 39. Carlson able to put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the field goal here at the end of the 2nd quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit.
The ball comes out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding. Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Off play action. Fowler. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jerry Hughes in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. An even 90 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
They start the drive with Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Off the play fake. Fowler. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 43 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Check. 4 down.
From the gun, Fowler. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Lucky 56.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock.
And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Stafford on third down. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's third down.
A little too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again at Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 3rd down, Fowler. Flushed out right. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out now come the Lions. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 50, Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. They find some open field here. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Stafford. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. And he'll be well short of a first down as he's stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Sam Martin now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10 and 2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2 and 10. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our...
Okay. Pocket through big day sumo.